is going on, Panhandle? It is Friday night, 7:30. Y'all know what that means. It is time for Panhandle Fishing Report. I'm your host, Smitty Surf Fishing, and with me always is my co-host.
What's up, everybody? It is Demo from Finding Demo Surf Fishing Podcast. Welcome to the end of the week and the start of the weekend, and we've got a hell of a show for you and some new stuff coming. So it's going to get interesting.
Yes.
Dude, that theme song sounded badass in these headphones now. I was like, oh my God, make it louder.
Make it louder. Brian got a whole new setup. He's got a new mic and headphones and all sorts of cool stuff.
Trying to be professional and catch up to you, man. Your audio always sounds good. Mine sounds like smashed ass. So I need something.
Appreciate that. Yeah,
Camacho, what's up, dude?
Camacho, what is up? Donnie,
good to see you, man.
We just got to figure out why my audio keeps going up and down like that. Matt Pike. Good evening, buddy.
I really would. I agree with you. I think we do need to go eventually. I mean, if I can get the soundboard thing and then you ever get the man cave done, we can figure this out.
Yeah, exactly. Where we're in one room and can get this going like that.
I mean, we're only 10 blocks from each other.
I know, right?
Hey, Pike, how you doing, man?
It's stumbling distance.
Yeah, it is true. Jason, how you doing? Did you get out in the kayak? I know you were talking about it. Bruce, loved the post. I understand how you were feeling there, thinking about being at the beach, but at the other hole. That was good stuff right there. It was a funny one.
Bruce, what's up, buddy? Good to see you guys. Jason, and everybody joining in tonight. What you drinking? Tall glass of water?
Yeah. I unfortunately will be getting up at 3 a.m. to go fish with Bill.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, I unfortunately will not be partaking in anything spicy.
Ooh, it's spicy.
Tony, I'm here for the hand line. You're the only one I know doing it, man. You're going to have to come on and tell us how you're doing it then, because granted, these are meaty paws. I haven't got the first damn clue. I mean, I jarhead it. Just yoot.
Dragon's Milk Stout for Donnie. Nice, buddy. That's a good choice there.
You've had that before, haven't you?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I haven't drinking it on air. I'm drinking we got here Junction 35, which is a distillery there in the Pigeon Forge area. Blackberry moonshine tonight.
A little 2 weeks of moonshine, man.
I know. Between this and the apple pie and the pickle stuff. Pickle moonshine stuff. Yeah. That was pretty yummy too.
We had the pickled moonshine, and then you had the pickled beer too from Texas.
Yeah. Yep. That's the only place I can find it is Texas. The pickle beer. They actually call it a hard seltzer, not really a beer, but
we don't have an ABC up here, do we?
No, everything's independently owned here.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like that.
I was gonna say the only good thing with ABC is you can do the requests.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the liquor stores around here are pretty accommodating. They'll hook you up. Texas has a good supply of Buffalo Trace options. Ooh, nice. We need a good place that's got Blanton's. Rob Foster, what is up, buddy? Rogue Reels.
Speaking
Perfect timing. Go ahead. This week's show is brought to you by Rogue Reels. Fishing. Use code ROGUE15 for a 15% off your next purchase. Rogue Reels makes quality hand-tied fishing leaders like the Smitty Surf Fishing Deployment Leader, 500-pound class deployment shark leader, and the HD Demo rig, a heavy-duty double drop rig for the surf. You can get those all at roguereelsfishing.com. That's Rogue Reels with a Z, fishing.com. Go check them out. Awesome.
Sorry, Barry's texting me in the background. Yeah, Barry. Yeah, we know.
Barry,
don't worry.
Barry, we're kind of busy. Barry.
I'm doing my job, man. All right. So as we started with the show, things are gonna be a little weird tonight. So we're changing things up on you a bit, and we think it's a good thing. But with that also, crap, where'd my notes go? I just dropped them. There we go.
That's all right.
We've been noticing some things with the analytics, and yes, we pay attention to them because we want to keep bringing you guys relevant things. Hence why we also post things. Jack, don't go too far. You're going to be coming on soon. So what we're going to do now is basically Mike and I are going to flap our jibs very short in the beginning, and we're going to bring our guest on. We're going to continue that now with one guest per episode per week. That's it. We're going to do one. We'll do the reports as we normally do. So you'll still get the exact same thing, but we're only going to have one on, and you're just going to have to listen to Mike and I flap our jibs for the whole show. And it's not like you guys aren't sad about that. So It'll be good to go. And oh yeah, cheers to you too, bud. Yeah, I saw that. So we're gonna get right into it. And then after we're done, we'll ask the question of the show or question of the day. Mike, is that the plan?
Yeah, we'll get into it. Then we'll go into after we do our topic discussion with the guest, and we'll get into the normal stuff that we did at the beginning of the show, but it'll just be towards the end. But this week's show is going to be pretty good. This week we're actually, before we get into that, let me give a huge shout out to our buddy Chip, the sinker guy, who just hit 6,000 subscribers there on YouTube. So congrats to Chip. He's also got a sale running right now. 11% off for the next 6 days on this shop. In the first 60, if it haven't sold out yet, gets a Pompano key ring tool that he's got, which is pretty cool. I got mine on my key ring. You can do real maintenance, all that cool stuff with it, and a bottle opener and some other cool stuff. So get over there and check them out, thesinkerguide.com. Congrats, Chip, on that.
And here we go. While we were talking about that, I didn't have it saved, but I will have it out now. Check your comments for all the fun and excitement of the code. Here it comes.
Oh, there you go. That's right. You got to use the code. YouTube code 6,000. Nice.
That was good
stuff. I like how when we post it now, since we're going live on all the channels, it pops up with each one of our users.
Yeah.
Name. So that code's in there. There's no missing it. You guys are going to see it.
Hey, Richard, how are you? Welcome back. Armchair surf angler enjoying the show from couch in Nashville. Ooh, you guys got winter coming soon. Well, hope you're doing well up there. You got some good stuff to do. All right. Well, should we bring them on?
So this topic we've gotten a lot of questions about here lately because they are starting to show up in force, and that's sheephead fishing. If you guys follow Yakin with Jack on YouTube or seen him on social media, he has been tearing up the sheephead lately, him and Sean Lawless both. But we were able to get Jack on tonight. His name, Sheephead Master, there in the green room.
He did. He went there.
Look at that. Let's bring down our...
I already got you there.
Got me there. Okay.
Yep, you got him. I got that.
Welcome to the show, Jack. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? Don't worry, guys. I'm humble in real life. I was just
Oh yeah. I mean, you are, but you don't need to be. I mean, seriously. You kind of got this thing down to a science.
This has
plenty of time on the water, man. Plenty of time on the water.
This has been a hot topic here recently. We've gotten a lot of questions on sheephead, what to use, where to go, rigs, what size line, what size reel, what do we use? So that's kind of what we want to talk about tonight on what you use. I shared out the post you just put up with the bird of prey jigs. I know you're a huge fan there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And use those. But go ahead and take us through kind of rig setups and things you do for sheephead fishing.
Okay. Well, there's so many variables when it comes to sheephead fishing. Thanks, Tony. But like what I like to start off, I like to start as light as I can. I start at least 15-pound fluorocarbon leader. The main part that I start out with the jig. It depends on how deep I'm fishing. If I'm fishing anything over 15 feet, I'm using this knuckle jig like this right here.
Okay.
You guys can see that?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm fishing any shallower, I don't have the jig with me right now. I was unprepared. I just got home from work. But I'll wing jig. Anything shallower is more of a finesse tactic. And, of course, the bait of choice is always going to be number one is fiddler crabs. Then we got ghost shrimp. Then we got mud crabs and speed crabs. Speed crabs are the ones you see in the grass. They're kind of darker, look just like a fiddler. Mud crabs are the ones you find underneath the rocks and like muddy bottoms. You got to know how to distinguish them though, because mud crabs look just like a stone crab, but you just got to look for the specks on the claws and a purple hue to it. So you don't get caught with stone crabs because you'll probably get a
big fine
or jail time.
Yeah,
losing money
and confiscation of everything, and there goes your rig and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it would be a bad day. But what I like to do is target them. I like to figure out when I get to the bridge or some type of structure when I'm fishing. I like to look to see which way the current's going. Moving water is the major key with sheephead fishing. Now you want to fish those eddies. The eddies is where the current is, and when like a pylon's breaking that current, and it gives like a little slack, and the fish like to stop. You drop it straight to the bottom, maybe 1 or 2 cranks up, and just wait for that subtle peck.
Yeah, I remember. So that's the biggest thing. I remember. I haven't done much sheephead fishing. I just got the boat back this year after a hiatus there. But it was very. I mean, they call them convicts for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just bait stealers. Like it's a
Yeah.
very subtle. Like you don't even know you're getting bit sometimes.
Sometimes I don't even feel now. If you ever watch some of my videos, or even Sean's, like you see us, and we're not even getting a bite, but sometimes we take our rod and we slowly lift it up. And if you feel any type of tension when you're doing that, you wanna set that hook like your Bill Dance. You know, you want to get pierced them all them teeth in that mouth. You get a proper hook set on them fish. I mean, you want to set it.
Right. You're like crossing their eyes. You're definitely hooking up with that fish.
Just be that bass fisherman, man. Just bass it out.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's what I like about it, setting that hook. Now you look like a fool when there's nothing on it. You feel something, you set it, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I
thought I had a bite. Thought I had a bite.
Yeah, right.
He was on there, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But one thing I do want to mention, I know a lot of people want to go out and target sheephead a lot. Like this year, it's early. Like we're still really early in the season. They're not really stacked up yet. But people gotta understand that sheephead, they live in the marshes and up in the rivers. You know, they're all in that grass. And then what they like to do, they like to stage up. I like to call it stages. So the bridge or most structure you find closest to the river is where they're going to be at first in October, November. Then they're going to slowly move out to different bridges like, 3 Mile Bridge. Then once you get closer to the pass, you're going to get Bob Sites and all the jetties. And it's going to go through sections during the month. Like March, you're going to catch them at Bob Sites, you're going to catch them in the jetties, and you're going to catch them at Fort Pickens like crazy.
So it's interesting you bring that up, like staging right now, because I know, and it's fun if you're tracking sheephead right now on social media and target them, the train trestles, the I-10, 90, Highway 90 here in this area, in the Pensacola area, are starting to have some success.
Yeah, that's
in
the river
those
mouths
areas.
too. If you notice that too, right next to the river
Yeah,
mouths.
absolutely. That's what I was going to bring up. So it's right next to the Escambia River coming out and the Blackwater River dumping out and all those areas. So definitely, right in those things that they're definitely staging up. But now's the time to start hitting those areas. Panama City is the same way. They're starting to stage up in those areas. Those structures, pylons, things like that are closer to the river system.
Exactly. Yes.
Right now.
Well, I mean, you got those two right there, and then you got Destin on that. What about on the Alabama side? Because I know their water changes. They've got the darker, dirty water. So, I mean, my brain says it's going to be the exact same thing. They're going to start up there, then they're going to start their migration down, trying to get to the open water. Pretty much the same technique, you think, Jack?
Causeways and stuff. You probably be able good luck. I fish Alabama not often, but I do. Like actually, this year I've been fishing a lot more. And Alabama's a different fishery, man. Their inshore is really good. A lot. I mean, it's very good actually.
Yeah.
And the sheephead you can probably find around all the docks and bridges over there right now. And I saw what Tony just commented.
I was going to ask you that.
What I noticed is the closer you get to the pass, that's when the sheephead are going like by the jetties or Fort Pickens or even on the piers. That's when sand fleas and ghost shrimp is going to be your top bait. So like as you move on, progressing through the bay system, you get close to the pass. That's when you're going to get your sand fleas and ghost shrimp, and that's what the sheephead are going to be feeding on. They're not going to be feeding on too much on crabs, but mostly like sand fleas and ghost shrimp because that's what's in the area. It's like matching the hatch,
Absolutely, that's what I was going to bring up. That's an interesting concept there. That your fiddlers right now, you're going to be further up the bay system because that's what they're feeding on in the marshes.
And oysters, you can't go wrong.
And
with
oysters,
yeah,
that's another great one.
That was gonna be my question about the oysters because I mean we've got limited oyster bars here in our area, and the ones you got to get to, you got to hike it. I mean, in the kayak, you got to go all the way. What is that? Into the cove over there by, why can't I think of the name? Bridge, the one by Lowe's, Mike, the one that takes us across.
Garcon Point.
Bob Sykes, Garcon Point.
Yeah. Garcon Point.
Yeah.
You get over to those little farmers there, but then you move up onto the north side and you got those couple coves. They've been playing around there, and then you got the bridge all that runs through that. Holy crap, Harlan Shackelford. Wow. I did not expect to see that name. Oh, this guy's really cool. We're going to talk about that after the show, Mike. Hi, Harlan. Good to see you. But
what's up, buddy?
One thing you would mention too was playing in the zones. So I remember when I first started trying this, and of course I've struck out about 1,000 times when it comes to trying to catch sheeps, is you can go to the bottom, but it's a matter of remembering, you still got to keep that tension and then play in the different zones as you go up. Have you noticed anything different of, hey, they really love it deep, or is it like, I know there's a big old the cold water's running on the bottom, or do you think it's just kind of a feeding zone? Like, hey, I love here, but you know what? They're finding more barnacles up here, and they're playing this zone here. What have you noticed anything different, or you just they play zone?
Around this area, I mean, our bridges are not too terribly deep. Like if you're going to Chesapeake Bay, you want to play the zones all day. But here, I mostly like right on the bottom or one crank up is most of the time I want to catch them. Now, if you're in shallow water, like say you're like in the first 100, 200 yards of Garcon Point, it's really shallow there. And the sheephead, they're feeding on barnacles and stuff there. That's when you want to free line a crab down, and that's going to slowly float. And that's when you're going to play the zones there. They're going to grab that bait, and you see that line come off your reel, and you set the hook. But most of the time when I catch mine, it's usually right off the bottom. I mean, literally sitting right on the bottom and maybe an inch or two up most of the time.
Nice. So Tony just asked another great question. Is artificial bait worth it for catching sheephead, plastic crabs, things like that, or do we keep it all natural and live bait?
I mean, I've tried it, and you're gonna lose a lot of rig sheephead fishing. So, like, you ever heard of the cranky crab? It's made in Australia. Very tiny crab. Things are like $20 a piece. I hooked up one time and bink, I was like, I ain't never doing this again.
Oh hell no!
I mean, it's not really,
That's a Jackson gone. Nope.
But
nope.
I've caught him on accident artificial. Like I was trolling like right at the river mouse over there off Blackwater River, trolling the crankbait next to the grass line. Caught a sheephead. I mean, he slammed that. It was like all in his mouth. He almost choked it. So, but I mean, it happens. If they're hungry, they're going to eat it. But I would stick with live bait.
Yeah, the ones I got lucky with some gold shrimp fishing the East Bay around the power lines one time. There's some rock structures over there, and we were just bouncing the bottom over there, and sure enough, brought in 2 sheephead. So I mean, you can get lucky, but I think with how finicky sheephead can be, you want to use some sort of either the live fiddlers or the oysters, like you said, in some sort of fashion. Which Brian, I don't know if the sacks that you use.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that he'd actually mentioned. He was saying that you do that. The only thing that worries me about using the sacks for that, though it holds it nicely together, is, and it's Jack, you said this, so this is why I've been very hesitant to use it, is their vision. Because their eyes are so big and they have such good visibility. I worry that the mesh is going to be a detractor. I mean, granted, I'm going to try it this year for sure, because if I can keep it on there for even that fraction of a second longer to get that into that teeth, I will.
See, he sent me some of those, and I want to try them so bad. But this time of the year, you want to try like smack dab in the middle of the winter months, because when the pinfish are gone, because as soon as you put oysters in there, the pinfish are crazy and gonna tear it all apart.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
have great success over there in the Destin Bridge area with those bags filled with oysters.
So Corey asked a question here: are they hitting now, or do you think we're a month away?
I mean, you can catch them, but the bite's gonna be far in between compared to when they're stacked up, ready to migrate. I would say, man, once that water temperature starts breaking like 65 and it's a steady, it's not going up and down, you're gonna start banging them pretty good. This morning I caught 6 when I got the phone call. I have to go to work, so I had to stop right then and there. I mean, I left them biting. I was mad. I might have said cuss words, but it is what it is, man. I got on a good bite, got a video out, so I'm happy with that. Can't be too mad about it.
Got on a good bite, got a video out of it, huh?
You make it look so easy, and that's the one that, I mean, I love you for it and I hate you for it at the same time, because I look at your videos, and I mean, we've talked before when we talked on our show. It's not all glory like it is. There's 8 to 12 hours that went into that to get that, but it's still it's funny watching those hits. It's just you're crushing it left and right, just pulling them up. Patrick, we were talking about the Panhandle area, not in the East Coast area.
I wish I could fish like the East Coast over there, Chesapeake Bay. They have absolute monsters over there. Like every one of them is like 8-pounders. You catch 8-pounder.
Go on a road trip. Let's go.
Let's go.
Screw work, dude. Let's go.
So my mom lives like right at the base of the bridge tunnel, right there in Chicks Beach, and it's an easy take your kayak over, and we could definitely do that. I just need to get a kayak.
Did we just become best friends?
Did we? What? As Brian was saying, road trip.
Dude. I mean, I have unfortunately decided that 2023 will be the year of more road trips. So, I I am down. The wife has already approved all of it. So if you guys want to get stupid, let's go get stupid.
There you go. Okay, so I want to go back to this one picture here. That's a nice sheephead there. What happened here? Hang on. Get on here.
What are you doing?
I don't know, man. It's sound engineer, man. That's what we need.
Once we get more sponsors, then we can afford it.
Right. Okay. So I'm looking at this jig right here. This is one of the stationary jigs, if you will. Knocker jigs, I think you called it, right?
Yes.
We got some brown, green fleck, orange fleck going on in there. Basically looks like a fiddler crab itself.
Yes, exactly. Now, I'm not a big fan of fancy colors when it's sheephead fishing. I'm all like, even when I'm fishing artificial for like specks and reds, I'm all about natural colors, man. I feel like the other colors are just for a gimmick, just that's my personal opinion, the way I fish.
I think you're right. I think they catch more fishermen than they do fish.
Yeah, I'm all about natural colors. Like Birds of Prey has excellent colors. They got fiddler crab colors. They have actually blue crab. They have colors of oysters, like a real dark with a little bit of white in it. And they got mud crab flavors, like real dark brown. And anything that matches our dirty, bay water. Bay water is not clean. I mean, it works perfectly. It just looks like, a crab stuck on an oyster or a rock, sitting on, and the sheephead comes down and crunches it.
You had another one up here. Where did that one go?
Season.
Oh, Justin asked you a question. Justin had a question for you too, because since you're talking jigs, this is a good one. What jigs do you prefer, swing jig or the one where the hook doesn't move?
Actually, I prefer the knocker jigs, the one like this. The ones that move, they're great when you're finesse fishing, but you will lose a lot more fish. So sometimes that hook likes to swing out, and gets knotted up. You miss a lot of fish hooks setting the hook. The knocker jig is almost guaranteed. If you feel him crunching on it, you set the hook, it's in there, and he's not going to come out. I'm a big fan of the knocker jig. I try not to use anything else unless I'm fishing really, really shallow water, and I got to lighten up that weight a lot.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that a lot too.
That was a stud. That one won me second place in the tournament.
That
was last year's, right?
Yeah, it might have been like 2 years ago. That one weighed almost a little over 9 pounds. It was 23.5 inches.
Yeah, because we'll have the Gulf Breeze Bait and Tackle Sheephead tournament coming up pretty soon. And man, seeing those numbers 9, 10, 12 pounders just magically popping in. It's like, come on, dude. That's ridiculous.
I didn't want to join that because I know I'm going to lose. I'm like, okay.
I always expect to see you on there too. I mean, that's just me. I put you up on that pedestal, man. I'm so sorry.
I don't have enough time to fish that much to make it a.
No, Steven, there is definitely bait on the jigs. Absolutely bait on the jigs. That's what you're going to want, those fiddlers, like he was saying, ghosties, stuff like that. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of that bait on the jig, say I got this knocker jig here. You see, you can fit one crab if hook it through knuckle to knuckle, but I like to cover up that hook as much as possible. So you don't put one. I usually put 2 crabs per knuckle jig to cover up that hook, just barely exposed.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're going in like say through the back knuckle, coming out like second or third knuckle.
Yeah, no, I go through
whatever it is.
the whole opposite other side of it. The whole back.
Oh, the whole opposite side. So you're going like back to back, or
then I put another one on.
Basically.
Yeah, then I just put another one on, just barely with the tip poking out, just the tip.
Okay. Yeah.
Phrasing.
Awesome. No, it's all good.
Mark. Richard, Jack, what pound test are you using, mono or braid? And I believe you answered that. What you got?
Main line is always braid. I use anything on my 2500. I either have 10-pound or 15-pound braid on there. And leader, I start at 15, and I went as low as 8. If the bite's really. If Bob sights, that water likes to get clear.
God, that's terrible.
In the winter because there's no rain. And if you ain't catching no bites, I went down to 12, then I went down to 10, then I started getting bites at 8, and I was getting my butt whooped with 8 pounds.
We hit 3 Mile Wednesday, I think it was. And the white trout bite, we were like loading them up. But we were using 10-pound fluoro on that, and some of them on that 2500 and the light rod we use from half hitch, one of their half hitch rods, spinning rods. Those trout were tearing. I couldn't imagine hooking into a 5-6 pound sheephead on that thing and then trying to horse it up from around the pylons on anything less than 20-pound leader material. I mean, it's just, that's crazy.
Wait till you hook a drum when you because a drum's a bycatch drum, and that one, I don't know if I sent you guys that picture, but
I remember that video.
Yeah, it was 10-pound. I was using 10-pound fluorocarbon, and what I always noticed, I talked about in a couple of my videos before. Say you hook a fish and like he's going towards the structure. You want to take your rod and you want to take your rod and like actually pull him towards the structure because he's gonna go the opposite way, the way you're pulling every time.
Hmm.
Like if you
Okay.
pull towards the structure, he's gonna go away from the structure. Almost
That's a good
90%
tip.
of the time he is, and that usually works out a lot in theory.
Because whatever way you're pulling, he wants to
Way.
go the opposite way.
Yeah.
He's like, no. This is on my
Yeah.
terms, not yours.
Mhm. Yeah, black drum, sometimes you can't help it. He's gonna be like, I don't care, I'm going the way I want to go.
Yeah.
They're just big dummies. That's all.
Yeah, we were trying for those too. We were dropping half blue crabs down.
You didn't get 8? That's crazy.
We didn't get no, the pinfish down there are like this big still. They're
Yeah. When they're bad, if you want to catch, you use a smaller blue crab and use them whole, and that way the pinfish won't even mess with them.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, the hard part's finding those blue crabs, though, man. I just had a great conversation with I'm not going to tell you where, but I just had a good conversation with them. I'm trying to get I'll tell you after because you're close by, so it's okay.
Right.
But I was trying to get their blue crabs, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I can get you A class." I'm like, "I don't need no A class blue crabs, bro. I need the bottom of the barrel,
smaller ones,
the
like
ones
this big,
the tiny ones." So yeah, apparently getting the smaller size ones is actually a challenge.
Hey, you guys saw my post though, right? 88 cents a piece over in Biloxi. We can go hit the casino. Blue crab, 88 cents a piece.
I don't know if my bank account was like that because I'm gonna do something else to go to the casino.
right.
Free drinks.
That's honest. Oh man, going there be good. So we got a little bit of time before because they're going to start their move out now. They're going to be up in their marshes, and then we're going to start rolling through. And then once we get a little bit further down, I'll stop talking. Answer that question.
Tight drag, medium drag. Oh, I like a medium. I like tight drag. If you're using light pound fluorocarbon, you're gonna pop it off.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about it, if that braid nicks that pylon with heavy drag, 1 second, it's pop off. I like using medium drag, and you just gotta finesse them out there. Because I use a PDL kayak when I'm kayak. So as soon as I hook a fish, I'm backpedaling. I'm pulling them out as best I can. And that's the great thing about PDL drive. I'm not sponsored by any means, but that's why I like it.
Not yet.
Sponsor me.
I mean, a couple emails might be necessary because I've noticed that when your videos too. More often than not, I've seen you hook up and you instantly go into reverse pedal. Yeah. You're not fighting that much. You're just trying to get out from under the bridge, out from the structure.
Yeah, and that is a huge advantage sheephead fishing. Huge advantage.
So with that light drag or medium drag, so you get it basically enough that you got to give it some tug to get it out.
To set the hook is my thing. Get that because if you seen that picture he showed with his mouth, all the teeth, you want to get in between his teeth, and once you get in there, he's not going to come out. The only way he's going to cut you off if he breaks you off in the pylon or his gill plates hit that leader, and them gill plates are sharp. They're just like snapper. They would tell you.
That's something Tony brought up too. The first one he ever
he got
cut him up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, slice his hand like butter. Them gill plates are like razor.
Just like snapper, red snapper. They will light your hand on fire.
All right, another one from Mr. Connor there. How about jetties?
Jetties is a different type of sheephead fishing. Like to be honest, I've done it before, but I'm not too familiar. I know Sean Laws did it a lot, and he's more experienced with that than I am. But it's the same concept, you throw a jig out with the crab or a shrimp and try to get them up. And the jetties is a whole different level of fighting fish. You gotta fight.
So I would think at the jetties you would have to really pay attention to what the tide's doing. And you would probably want to hit it on a slack tide more so than a moving tide because that current rips through there.
Mm-hmm.
And
but you like the water too, though, so it's kind of like
it's true.
Yeah.
If
it's the neat tide, don't go sheephead fishing. You will not be good.
Well, you even like you said, I mean, the sheepies are acting kind of like salmon in a way. They're getting behind structure and they're popping out to get it.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get those little pieces and just hit it and go. So I can imagine that. But on the same one, hell, I mean, I caught it. I did catch a sheep's head, but it was on the East Coast over there at the Air Force Base when I was talking to you, Mike, on a piece of fish bites just sitting out there. A complete and total bycatch. But I mean, it was like, okay, this is how we're catching sheep. Oh, dude, it was the weirdest day. I mean, I think Abby pulled in. What's that?
Said if sheephead's a bycatch, sign me up. I'm about it.
Yeah, right.
Well, apparently, and East Coast guys, you're in here. I mean, I can see you guys are talking. Apparently, they catch them in the surf all the time. It's not like for us where we have to go to the friggin' structure. They catch them in
There's
the
some places
surf.
around here where you can. I seen Bama Beach Bum, and I kind of know where it's at, but they try to keep it secret. There's a spot where they can catch sheephead at the surf at certain times of the year. I mean, I don't give out too much information because I want to fish it, but
we've had a few here in the Pensacola area that have actually got it from shore, but it's a rarity though. Like it's like Justin catching the mangrove from the surf. You know what I mean? Like we normally don't. That's unheard of around here.
But this is also being a weird
what's
year.
going on? That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, we got bonefish this year.
Yeah.
Like, we don't normally get that. There was another catch. I don't know if it's in my save scroll or not, but somebody else caught another strange fish from the surf. It's like, we don't normally get that here. Yeah, I did.
Permit this year too.
Oh, tons of permit.
A lot of big permit. So
big.
That's
Scott Kennedy. I know you guys saw that one.
Yeah. The pending state record over there in Alabama right now, and we also got a snook up here.
Yeah, well, the snook it's been caught here before. I know. No, Josh Lim, he used to run a charter over here. He caught a couple of snook here before. Yeah. You just got to go way back deep into bayous and rivers and just get lucky and pop a snook. Which I never caught one yet. It's gonna happen one day though.
Nope, that's gator territory.
Yeah. I hooked one of those before too, and that's scary. I'd rather hook a shark than a gator any day.
You get into the bayous, man, and back there, and then you're into the other toothy creatures. You're into the old gators and snakes that want to eat you. So yes, for all you listening, I don't like them.
So Jack, you brought up, is your preferred sheephead combo a 2500?
Yes, that's
10 to 15. Yeah.
Yeah, 2500. My new favorite reel now is the new Pen Slammer 4 2500 because it has the drag to stop a drum, but it's also just smooth just to get them sheephead up, man. That one's my favorite so far. I also like using bait casters too because when you're dropping straight up and down, you can control that descent a lot better than open the bail and pulling up and down and let the line come out.
Right.
Bait casters is my second favorite.
That's interesting.
Bait casters is great. Rod, I'm in a kayak. It's different than people in the boat, so I like using the 7.2. That way I can walk around that big tip of the kayak. So you don't want that line to hit that kayak because my kayak's rough on the edges because I'm always bridge bumping. I'm saying bang bang bang. But 7.2 is my preferred. Medium light or medium heavy. Medium heavy preferred. I like that soft tip so you can.
Yes, Richard, I heard him. Richard's got a thing for me. Yeah. He's got a thing for me to get my hands on a bait caster. Yeah. I mean, after the conventional. What's that?
I got a couple you can try when we go sheephead. When I take sheephead fishing, I'll let you use one.
Works for me. I got no problem. I mean, nice. I've already gotten to the point where I need to just shut up and say, all right, when are you going fishing? And then just write it down and say, hey, anybody that's a customer that day, I'm sorry, I need to push you off a day. Sorry. Got to go fishing with this guy.
Heck yeah. We need to go. Maybe next week. No, I can't. I got a tournament next weekend. Me and Sean fishing the tournament. That redfish tournament. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Over in the Santa Rosa Beach.
We're going to try.
Yeah, just looked like a good one today. Actually,
we should have brought that one up. That one looked like a good tournament. That's also snapper weekend, so I think I'll be snapper fishing. Actually, I know I'm snapper fishing.
Heck yeah!
See if we can't get Frisky and his wife on the snappers.
Not really alligators in the kayak. I don't really think that I'm going to have a problem in the kayak. Now, I'm talking about walking in the bayous and in the creeks there, Jared. In a kayak, I feel pretty safe. The only thing I'm worried about in a kayak is the air breathing butthole coming up and doing something to me, kind of rude. That's the only thing I really worry about in a kayak. Shark's not going to have anything to do with me. He doesn't care.
No.
Alligator eats you though. You don't want to shark bite you and leave you alone.
Yeah, shark will bite and leave you alone. Is that what you said?
You get a taste like oh, he's fat. No, I don't want that.
So I don't know if you may have said. I know you said ghost shrimp. But have you ever had any success on live shrimp or pieces of shrimp for sheephead? Or does it
pieces of shrimp? I have success on live shrimp. If I can't find any crabs, I will use live shrimp in the colder month. But I like the smaller ones because they got to eat that whole shrimp to fill that hook. And of course, you use a small hook. I like a size number 2 octopus because if I'm using shrimp, I'm usually using the Carolina rig or just a leg with a split shot. And the smaller ones are what I prefer. But I say that, but one of the biggest sheephead I caught was on a Mondo shrimp, looks like a dang lobster.
Really?
I was looking for redfish. Yeah, I got a sheephead, but the smaller ones are what I prefer if I'm using shrimp.
Nice.
But filler crabs is not one bait.
So that's what we didn't talk about. We talked jigs, right? We talked the swing jigs and we talked the knocker jigs, but we didn't talk Carolina rig fishing. And you mentioned, you brought up a good point, just a little piece of split shot, just enough to get it to drop. And are you using circle hook or a J hook?
J hook all day. Circle hook is so hard to pierce that mouth and the teeth. You want like a small number 2 octopus size 2.
Okay.
Just to get in that mouth. You want to get like 2 times stronger because them thin wire hooks, you catch a big sheephead, he's going to bend it out. It's going to happen. So you want to get something a little thicker. Not too thick to kill the crab, but not too thin. It's going to bend out. It's kind of like a little
Goldilocks hook.
Yeah, the Goldilocks.
Goldilocks.
That's
not too hard, not too soft. Just right.
That's the best explanation I've heard of that hook ever, right there. All right, and that's the only thing I've worried about too with those crabs, man. You get that hook and throw them, you can rip them right in half. I mean, it's not it's they.
But if that happens, to put another crab right on top, drop it down, you still get 8.
Yeah. With Jarrett said, we got guys dropping super small crabs off the piers for sheephead. Yep,
makes sense.
And that's what we'll be doing. Same thing, same techniques down here. That's what I love about everybody tuning in from different areas and stuff, and a lot of the same concepts. Transfer basically.
I noticed on the East Coast too, like around the tunnel bridge and everything. Yeah, I've seen those guys use fiddler crabs over there, and their fiddler crabs are massive. I mean, they're huge compared to the ones we have here. I don't know if you've ever seen them, watched the videos before, but them guys, the fiddler crabs are like that big with a claw like big as my hand. I'm like, holy crap! And
do you go out and catch your fiddlers, or do you buy them?
It depends on the time of the year. If it's tournament fishing, I'm catching my own crabs. I'm looking for a certain size and everything. But if I'm just fishing, to record a video for me, I go to Outcast or a local bait shop and buy them myself. It's so much easier because flipping rocks when you're 34 years old, it's kind of on the back.
Try 50.
Oh, I remember my 30s.
I remember 34.
I knew that was coming.
Back when my liver could handle anything, heartburn didn't exist. Things weren't popping.
Well, that's messing up with the heartburn right there.
Yeah, it's alcohol for me. That's what gets me. This is no heartburn at all. Alcohol, I'm done. I know I'll be up in the middle of the night going, yep, I hate everything about everyone.
Toms, I need Toms.
Yeah. that has been a wealth of knowledge right there on sheephead fishing. You guys got any questions for Jack before we sign off, man? Go ahead. I know y'all been dropping them as we be going through here, but if y'all have specific questions you want to ask, now's your time. And while they're thinking of something, I keep seeing you sipping over. What are you sipping on tonight?
This is just some Diet Coke. So I'm trying to watch my figure and a little bit of Jack.
Okay.
It's a little bit of Jack.
Yeah. That's what we're waiting for. The other thing. I'm not too worried about the Diet Coke, but the Jack there.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, now you're talking about bait too. Yeah, and you need a little cap to let that mechanic stuff go. I understand.
I think I might go play some Call of Duty too.
There you go.
That just makes me angrier. Oh,
nice.
What about blue? I mean, crab knuckles. Any luck on those?
Yeah, those work very well too. But again, like wintertime months when the pennyfish are gone, you use little chunks of blue crabs. They work great. And if you can get a hold of like little like tiny little blue crabs, oh yeah, those will work great. Some of the biggest sheephead in this area were caught on little blue crabs or like oyster. Like you take an oyster, you just crack it and barely get your hook through there and drop the whole oyster down. And there's been some monsters caught in just like oysters.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's a good question, Donnie.
Permit.
Really?
Yep. Permit, Bob Sites Pier. Yeah, around this time of year actually too. Permit. Yep. We caught like 3 of them that day. And Pompano too. We caught Pompano there too. Yep.
This one I was like, I wanted to say something like, of all people, Jack is one of the few that I know I could send this to, and he'd be like, yeah, I got you. I mean, I again, go for it.
What are some matching the hatch, I would say. Like it depends on where you're fishing. Match the hatch. I mean, it's a lot of variables when it comes to that. It depends on where you're fishing. If you go Bob Sites, man, you take kids there. I take my kids all the time. Drop a Carolina rig with live shrimp, you're gonna catch something.
Yeah, I mean, hell, that's how Abby ended up catching that winning Spanish last year. We just put that shrimp down there, left it on the top, wasn't paying attention. Next thing she's like, I got a fish. I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh, holy crap, that's a big Spanish.
Grab the net.
So Jarrett, what I take it you're in North Carolina, I think.
Yeah, he's in North Carolina.
Okay. So I would say meaning match the hatch. What the fish are eating on right now, Eastern North Carolina, around the New Bern area or in that area. I would say pay attention to what if you're on the pier, other people are using. And don't be afraid to talk to them and ask the questions on, just walk up and say, hey, you guys are wearing them out. Yep, Bogue Inlet.
I read it as bougie too.
I know, that sounds like bougie and a Bogue Inlet. Yeah, so just talk to people and see what they're catching. A lot of times they're going to open up to you, especially if you're trying to get your kids on fish. Everyone's sympathetic to that. I was like, yep, you're out here, you want to have a good time. Boom, here's what we're using. A little piece of shrimp. I tell you,
everything is shrimp.
A little piece of shrimp on a small enough hook will catch anything.
Yep.
A lot of times what we see, and Brian and Jack both can jump on, people use too big of a bait when they're out there fishing, and then you're not going to catch anything like that. Your bait's going to get eaten, but you're not going to be able to catch them because you're just using too big of a bait out there for what
you want to match the bait to your hook size or vice versa. Like you want to bury that hook, cover it up.
Yeah.
Just have the hook going.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you're on the surf side, I mean, you got so many variables. You walk and you see a bunch of coquinas. That's a pretty good indication of hey, clams are going to be in season, or or you want to get out there with quahogs, or if you can hook a coquina, not a bad one. Sand fleas, another one, especially for our area. You see them right there. Sand fleas are always a great one. But on the same note, if there's a ton of that in the water, then maybe that's not going to work. So you got to switch it up a little. And the good trick we use here is you move to ghost shrimp. They're not always plentiful right there, but you throw it out. Hey, it's something different. It's a different scent profile. Boom. They're going to jump all over it. And don't forget your artificials, because you never know with that. It's always a myriad. Always have a myriad. Crabs, shrimp, clams, all of it. Have it all. It's worth it.
Also, talk to your bait store. Talk to your local bait store. Hey, what are they hitting? What should I use for bait? They're usually only there.
This one is, I was wondering that. I normally do.
I really do like this question. Me personally, I throw that thing out every time. I rip it off and throw it out and use it as chum. I don't like the big claws. They hurt.
Yeah.
They always get me every time I reach my hand in the bucket. It's like, I rip it off. And I've noticed, I even did that today. I noticed this today. Every time I put a big feather down today with a big claw, I didn't get a bite. Bring it back up, put another, rip the big claw, drop it down. 30 seconds later, tap, 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 tap.
Yeah. They don't want to get pinched. They look at the same thing. Like, oh, you ain't got no defenses, son. You're mine.
So not asking for
that question. That was a good question.
Not asking for a specific spot or whatever, but were you closer to rivers today?
Yeah.
Than you were you?
Yes.
There you go.
I mean, temperature's still kind of warm, and the water temperature is not down yet. Yeah. Of course, the river water is going to be colder than the bay, so you want to go close to the rivers right now.
Nice.
If you can. Now, that's not saying you can't catch them in other bridges now.
True.
Better around structure, 365, but they're going to be closer to the rivers more now than anywhere else.
I hear right now the Lillian Bridge is holding a lot of sheephead. If you're following Facebook, and that's almost as big of a joke as the whistle buoy out in Panama City.
Yeah,
it's a good
watch some of this video.
Yeah,
he caught some sheephead there, but it's mostly drum.
Yeah.
Now, think about it though, Lillian Bridge is right next to Perdido River.
That's true.
It should start holding sheephead here soon. Give it another cold snap, and it's gonna be thicker than the snick over there.
Don't forget to bring squid.
I was going to say Justin just said that long shank hooks and squid. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And DOA shrimp. I hear that works pretty good too.
DOA is key.
You guys, if you're following social media, especially in the area, there's some clowns out there. And not everything is factual, right? But the guys that are posting it are definitely on the fish, and I got some of that coming up in our Panhandle scroll, but it's fun. What's up, Deerfield? Thanks for joining, man.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Nice.
And he came right up with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love the emojis on the phone.
What does he say? He said it calls everybody a cub.
Yeah, everybody's a cub. That's right.
Because
we all know We all know the same.
We all know who that is, yeah. And
Yeah,
actually,
we already know who you're
that guy
talking
catch the
about.
fish too now. He's just a clown.
Oh yeah, that's why I said that. Like that dude catches fish. But I like seeing this post just to see the comments and everybody. People get fired up, man.
Jared, this is my tip: never use Walmart killer bee frozen shrimp. It's old. It's usually frostbite. It's no good.
I think
The fresher the better. Go to Publix. Go to Walmart. Not Walmart. Go to Publix or any place that says shrimp and buy it there.
Winn-Dixie.
Yeah, Winn-Dixie's a good one, especially if you got hard too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that's, and by all means, I put it on TikTok, so it's already out there. But if you guys haven't noticed, I go get my blue crab from Winn-Dixie.
Yeah.
Hold on. They said blue crab?
No,
not to you.
No. Not out here.
Yeah. Going to the back, they've got the gumbo blues. They've already shelled. They're frozen. They're not great, but you can, after they thaw out, cut them up. I use them a lot for crab knuckles pretty much every time here because getting my hands on blue crab's a pain in the ass. So it's been pretty simple once I use that one.
I thought you used it for drum fishing. Now, when you drum fishing the crabs, you don't want it cleaned out. You want all that gunk and nasty stuff.
Yeah.
You want that yellow stuff to leak out, you know?
Awesome.
Actually, the spot, I need to take you guys so we can catch some big drum land base when come with me. Be quick.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome,
Steven.
brother.
Great point.
Yep, local seafood markets. So I think we hit everything. I think we're like run through and got everything. This has been a great educational video for a lot of folks.
Enjoyed
Fresh
it.
from Publix. Oh, now you chime in.
Hey, really? you now you come in? Congratulations,
hey, but
Mr. 6,000.
That's right, Mr. 6,000. That's what we call it.
Mr. 6,000.
Nice. Jack, man, we appreciate you. We knew you rushed home from work to get on this, so we appreciate that and your time. And great content on sheephead fishing. That's what folks have been asking about. It's getting up here this time of year, so that's what they want to know. So you also do charters with the Navarre Beach shark fishing. Yes. If folks want to book a trip with you, how do they do it?
NavarreBeachSharkFishing.com. Got an email address there. Just hit that up. Facebook as well too. And also, if you have any questions about sheephead fishing or kayak fishing in general, go to my Facebook page, Jack and Jack. Shoot me a message or Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to help you any way I can. I try not to shy away because I was once, beginning to didn't know what I was doing. So I'll be happy to help. Just hit me up.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
That's great. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being on the show. We'll get you back on here soon, brother. Thanks a lot. Yo, what you got?
If Sean's watching, Dallas sucks.
What is it? What is it now? I'd say go Redskins, but it's Commanders, right?
Yeah, either way.
Commanders, either Redskins. Yeah. Awesome, brother. We'll see you later.
Guys. You guys have a good one.
Bye.
See you, Jack. Yes, Barry,
Awesome.
He did. And I'm not telling people where I can get said name crabs yet. I got to test that one out for me because I'm a selfish asshole.
They need to get smaller ones, though. They need to get smaller ones.
I'm working on that with them. That was a good. I went there for lunch this week and had a good conversation with them. And that's why I found out about the A's and B's. I told them if they get the smalls, that's more of a conversation. And I'll shoot Jack the message. And I'll tell you when we're up post show, of course. But man,
hey, otherwise I'm driving to Biloxi.
88
cents a piece, man.
Your price point's going to be better there. I will say that. Actually,
a lot better.
They're getting them from there too.
I know
that.
But
that's what he told me. I was like,
way up.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey,
what's up, Michael? How you doing, buddy? All right. So now we're into the part of the show where Brian and I get to flap and talk, and this is weird because we reversed everything. But let's just jump into the question of the week, and you guys can think about it while we do some other things and post them in the comments on what you think. But our question this week is, what do you want to see more of from our show?
It's all about you guys. Mike and I talk daily.
Pretty much.
This, but we can do this on the phone all day and we enjoy these conversations, but to bring in, no, that ain't happening. Jared. We enjoy talking fishing, and we got a couple of text groups. We all talk fishing. That's pretty much the biggest stuff. And it's anything to help you guys get something. We're all going to learn from something there. Oh, thanks, Donnie. My light helps. And my new voice. Oh, yeah. But,
oh, yeah. New microphone.
My new mic. But these things are, we only get better if we help each other. I mean, I'm not a fan of hiding information. And though I'm making jokes about the bait thing, the reason I'm not telling you guys is because I want to verify that we can actually get it and it's sustainable. I don't want it to be a one-hit wonder. I don't like that. And it's a waste of time, especially for a lot of you would have to drive. So no, I'm not going to waste your time with that until I get it for sure. But you guys, this is all for you guys, for the kids, for everybody that fishes. That's the whole premise of this. We give you the info so you can get out there and go fish, and we want to make sure that we're bringing you the best information throughout the entire time you're here. Whether we talk for 30 minutes, we talk for an hour and a half, it doesn't matter. We're gonna talk. So give us the stuff and we will help you out as best we can from the shows. All right, we got some stuff here.
Absolutely.
Jack on the catches, tips and anecdotes, gear reviews.
I do like that.
I wish I had more money for gear.
Yeah, you and me both, man.
That's all right. I will after Saturday. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'll tell everybody I win Powerball, but there'll be signs.
There will be signs. You saw my post. I'll have 2 new vehicles in the driveway.
Yeah. When to go fishing?
Offshore report. Even though we're doing the one guest, we're still going to hit the inshore, offshore, and surf report. So right now, again, the mic goes in and out. Offshore right now is bonita, kings, Spanish. I got some yellow fins and black fins showing up, but that's like way offshore right now. They're not in as close as we'd like them right now. The pier is holding a lot of bonita right now and Spanish. And that's Navarre and Okaloosa. Okaloosa still getting some kings coming in there as well. Inshore, the speckled trout and redfish bite is still going on. You're getting in there close. Getting up in the shallow areas. Pinfish are starting to move out, so you can get back to using live bait. If you guys didn't see the video we put up of Legendary Marines and the half hitch seminar that happened on the 1st of November, which was the first Tuesday. Normally it'll be anyway. I was thinking we had one more week to push that, but we put it up on the website there. It's all about fishing the bay this time of year. And Captain Blake Nelson actually hosted that one, which is pretty good. Another charter captain out there in the Choctawhatchee Bay area. There we go. And a lot of good info he put out. So that's worth a watch. It's about an hour long, but definitely some good information in that one. Surf report, man, we got one today that blew our mind.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like the Opal area and going into Pensacola, full of June grass, and like full on June grass, not dead June grass, but green, like a new bloom that happened, which kind of sucks. Which will make it tough. Hopefully we'll get some. Actually, we do have some good north winds as we get to the weather. We'll start talking about some good north winds that'll come in here and push that stuff out of here, and let it lay down over on the other side of the second sandbar somewhere.
And that's the Navarre area. There's a little bit of still clear stuff over towards Destin and that area. Okaloosa, it's spotty, it's sporadic. We all know how that is. So we were basically hunting through as we were going through social media, seeing if anybody else had any other posts. This came from one of our text groups, so we know it's in our area, which sucks because that's going to hurt us for the weekend. But there's still plenty of other places to run. Absolutely.
Pensacola Bay, man, you can always go out there and catch red snapper, although they're not in season. You just got to have the spots. We went and checked on our spots for this upcoming weekend, and they are still holding snapper. Yes. So hopefully we'll get out there. Actually, I know we're going to get out there. Fishing up around 3 Mile Bridge, white trout and Spanish. And the Spanish weren't on top. They were down on the bottom, which was mixed in with the trout, which was surprising to me. I figured they'd be higher up in the water column. There was so much live bait. And that's something Jack brought up too. Matching the hatch, and you brought it up as well, Brian. But there was so much live bait out there, small pilchards and things like that they wouldn't touch anything. We had to switch over to GI jigs, and we're jigging those off the bottom. And again, matching the hatch, smaller rain minnows, things that looked like what was popping out there, the pilchards and stuff. And we started catching them, and like every drop we would bring something up, either a trout or a nice Spanish. So they're out there. You just got to pay attention to what's going on around you and adjust your tactics, because I had a shit ton of bait that we had to use up, and it's all now in the freezer right now.
Sorry, we'll use it, sir,
for the next trip. Yeah,
hi,
we got
Uncle
a couple
Shane.
good days coming up.
Nice to see you too. Oh, thanks, Chip. We love Fridays too. I mean, for this, but also we know we get up the gathering here of everybody, which is cool because we get the East Coast friends all come in, and that's good things.
Appreciate that, Chip.
Q&A: how to slay bodies, saltwater, onshore.
Slay bodies.
I mean, I can talk to you about that, but I mean, it's
we're not gonna put that on
the show.
Yeah, it's a different show. We got a whole other channel for that.
We don't even, we're already watching as it is. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna get all sorts of fun advertising after this show. It's always great too after we talk about that one. So the square circle is coming soon. Oh boy, this is getting off topic. All right, I'm gonna jump into my fun side. I'm gonna jump ahead of you.
Go ahead, bud.
Because I'm here. Best reel repair. I have an answer for that for me.
Hang on.
Okay, so with Windy here, I'm kind of getting into this habit now, and this is something I'm gonna probably do for a while when I'm using Windy. I use it on my phone, like you guys hear me about, but on the show, I really like coming on the outside view here because I like seeing what the actual course is. Because you can see here, we got the cut across and then down, and then what's following obviously follows the land with the hook. So we're rocking at 12 knots right now. But as we continue on, I also want to see, because I know if it's coming from this way, I want to see how it's going to play once it hits land into the Saturday time, moving into the north, right into your face, right? And I can live with it. I can live with that. But with the June grass being what it is, that means it's coming in a little harder. So coming in hot, be ready for that. But all this stuff out here is pushing, and you can start seeing the circle. So start paying attention to how the weather changes. Again, going right off to the west, eastbound wind. And then we finally get the turn. And of course, it's not till the Monday. So we'll start seeing the northern winds change from there. Waves are also starting to pick up. Oh, damn, pausing that. That looks really rough out there on the East Coast. Sorry, guys. You're not going to be enjoying that.
Oh, yeah. Look at right. Sorry, Chip and Barry and everybody else over there who's
you guys and catching all your pompano and all the things you guys have been catching. God. 3-footers running at about 4 seconds. That's a decent roller, not too bad. Again, I like to see what it's doing here. I like to take a look at that big piece there. But Saturday 3-footers, Sunday 2-footers, and with wind does come waves. So we know north wind knocks it down flat. Anything else is going to create the chop. Period is being the important part. How far apart they are, how they're spaced. Always a good thing to double check on and make sure that you're paying for or paying attention to. The nice thing is once we get towards the end of the week, well, no, actually that was the bad thing. That little cell, as you can see, the waves are going this way. Yeah, that sounds really cool and all, but there's
don't worry about that little guy. That little guy. Don't worry about him.
Don't worry about him. But yeah, as you can see here, that's where I was going. See that little circle of doom right there? Yeah, 17 knots. Towards next week, it's going to suck. So get your fishing in while you can, boys and girls.
Corey. Yeah, you got to get out and explore, man.
What? We don't have spots for snapper. We don't know
where they are. You just got to get out and explore. I will say though, I think you're Corey, if I remember right, I think you're over on the Fort Walton Beach area side. I think I've seen some of your posts and stuff, but Pensacola Bay is a very unique fishery because Pensacola Bay is a very unique fishery because you can catch just about anything. You can catch offshore, you can catch inshore to an extent. Obviously, you're not going to get mahi and stuff like that, but you can get grouper in the bay. You can get some big snapper in the bay. Just look for structure
all day.
Bottom structure. And I'll tell you, there's websites out there that you can search that'll tell you where all the rubble piles are within Santa Rosa County and Escambia County. They're public.
Why are you throwing that special knowledge out there? Good man. You're a good man for sharing that.
Yeah, but you got to get out there and look for them and hit the spots because some of them are good, some of them ain't worth it. Not worth the bait.
Jared, I found that. Yeah, Jared, I found that bribing them with man bikini bottoms has kind of been a good one, but also fish. but I also like to make it weird. I'm okay with that. Your weather report, sir.
Oh, my weather report. Oh yeah, I didn't even pull it
I
up.
gave you
Honestly,
I gave you the wind. You're on that one. And Justin, I got your
That's
text, and I'm
right.
very confused about this text. I don't know what that is. Is that
Let's
where we're
bring
going?
this up here.
I can do weird. We can be friends. Dude, your mic like that sounds really good.
Does it? It's better than
it
normal?
really does. It sounds a lot better. Your
Yeah,
audio.
well, yours definitely sounds better, but
thanks. I hope so. It better.
All right, here we go. Sharing this. Present. Share screen. Come on now.
Mess around, Brian. I'll do it.
All right. So weather coming up. I mean, look at this. We got 80s during the day, 60s at night. We get on to the midweek when that wind kicks up and our temperatures are going to stay. I mean, look at this coming up next week, like the following week in the 60s, lows 47s, high 60s. That may be a time to get our flannel hoodie photo done on the beach.
I love it. I love that you got that. I mean, you guys are going to see it, obviously, a little foreshadowing here, but Mike might be joining he's joining the fray of the flannel mafia. Oh yeah, Jack, I agree, man. Give me the chill.
But winds, we got east, northeast, like Brian was showing, with windy at 9, 13 from the northeast.
God, that sucks.
What I found though with these northeast days is we get more of a east northeast, not a direct northeast, which makes the bay a little choppier, which not too much on the surf, but on the inshore side, you really got to pick your spots on where you want to go and what you want to do to fish. Because again, fishing out Pensacola area, it does get it gets pretty choppy out there. Demo and bikini bottoms. Don't tempt him because he will do it.
I don't even need a free t-shirt for it.
Right? I don't need a free t-shirt. What? Deerfield's got t-shirts?
I will do some dumb stuff for a free t-shirt. I mean, I'm not, unfortunately, my wife will attest to that yes, I will do that. Sinker guy 11% with a free Pompano multi-toy. Blow's gonna
multi-tool.
Yeah. Oh no, he put toy. No,
I know he put toy on there.
Out. I'm calling him out for
toy,
his typing.
Yeah, we know what he's got. All right, we got a lot of good responses. More viewer photos.
There you go.
More viewer photos. More gear reviews, in which we haven't revisited since iCast on stuff. Well, it's kind of what we need to do. Is revisit our iCast finds and purchases. I know one that I'm not real happy with.
Really? Ooh, you've already got me intrigued.
Yeah, I got one that I'm not happy with. But we'll see how it goes. I mean,
nice teaser for next week.
Yeah, and next week we'll talk about it. But there is one that there's other things that are a lot better. Anyway,
it's
we'll leave it at that because I don't want to give too much away.
It's funny you bring that up though, because iCast was eye-opening for us this year. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was very much kind of like we talked about earlier, tackle is not for fish, it's for fishermen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny looking back on, it was only a few months ago. It wasn't that long, but looking back on the things that we fell in love with. And then now we're like, okay.
Yeah. Barry, I really want that ladyfish. Yeah. That lure.
Who got it? Somebody got it. And I want to say it was Sean. Somebody posted it. Jack, it wasn't you, was it? I'm almost positive it was Sean got the ladyfish.
It's probably Sean. I can see Sean throwing down for it.
Yeah. Smuggling plums. You give me too much credit, sir.
Bloodhound gang, man.
Oh, I heard it.
Bloodhound gang. Now the song's in my head. Mighty Tidy Whitey and smuggling plums. Yeah.
Pac-Man.
Anyway, all right, let's get into our scroll. The scroll's brought to you by, who's our sponsor for the scroll? Waterland Sunglasses.
Hey, your guy.
There you go. Yeah. Use code SSF to save you 15% right now. Waterlands also has prescription glasses now. They also have a few lady frames out right now that they've come out with. as well as the poly frames and glass poly lenses and glass lenses as well. So get over there and check them out, waterlandco.com. Use code SSF, save you 15% at checkout. So where do I keep doing that? I got a few good ones that have also a bike company. Oh yeah.
This one's a good story. Not a good event at all. They picked the wrong person to piss off for that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to talk more about that, Chip. I'd like to hear more about that one. Did I close my? I did. I closed my Facebook feed.
Hi, Dylan. Hope you're doing good too, bud. Always good to see you. Oh, that's good stuff.
I don't know why I did that.
So I don't know. You were busy?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, no, nothing good's going to come from this. What do you call Winnie the Pooh's grandma? All right, I'll ask. Oh, my God. This isn't going to go well. While you're working on that.
I'm waiting to hear what Winnie the Pooh's grandma's called.
I would tell you what scroll. I wouldn't leave you out of the loop on there.
All right,
it just derailed the whole show, Jack. Way to go. Seriously.
It's got here. Okay, our buddy Logan Woodard out there at Pensacola Fishing Fanatics.
I am not saying that online.
Got into some nice redfish. Perfect slot size, if you ask me. Great eating fish right there, man. Nice size redfish. Great. Let's see here. Great day. Our buddy Brock over there. Man, if y'all haven't seen any of Brock Meyer's posts, man, Brock kills it over there in Panama City. From the surf, offshore, kayak. I mean, he'd be another one we need to get on here and talk about some stuff. But, great offshore haul there. Nice grouper there. I mean, look at that bad boy. And Brock does a lot of slow pitch jigging too. And it's gotten into that. So that's awesome. Great catches there, Brock. Our buddy Jordan Gooding with a nice sized redfish off the beach. That was an epic day.
Yeah, he was crushing it.
If y'all haven't seen that video, Perdido Blaine, Jordan, Bearded Brad, I don't know who else was out there, but Sean was out there, I think, Lawless, and they were just crushing fish from the shore. Big jacks, big redfish. Awesome stuff. All right, here's the deal. They're in Biloxi. Live blue crab, 88 cents each. 20 to 25 count shrimp for $3.49 a pound, and 16 to 20 count shrimp for $3.99 a pound. This is Stewart Seafood Market out there.
Are you really trying to not give yourself a reason to go to miss? Like, it almost sounds like you just want to go to Biloxi,
dude. My wife told me tonight if she wasn't leaving out tomorrow, we would load up the coolers and head to Mississippi to go get me bait. So, yes.
What is that? Is that 3-hour drive?
Yeah, about that 2.5. Actually, tonight with no traffic, we can be out there pretty quick. Another good sheephead bite there, and catching them on DOA shrimp. Look at that. That's awesome. Yesterday was on squid. Today they're on DOA shrimp. But great photo. I mean, the sheephead are out there. You just got to know the spots to go and where to go. This one I thought was cool. Let his oldest kid play hooky from school, took him out, and boom, 4 hours on the water. That's a limit of sheephead. They're stacked up out there. That was awesome. Where to go, Sean?
I mean, it's not hooky. It's technically science.
Right. All right, here we go. So this is another huge school of red snapper in the bay. I thought this one was pretty neat. So you get the small one hooked up, right? And then look at these other ones that are trying to, the larger ones that are trying to bite the line to free up the little one.
Ain't gonna happen, man. You ain't freeing my friend.
You see him in the okay, so who was it that asked the question? There's 3 Mile Bridge right there. It goes from Gulf Breeze to Pensacola.
We don't look at the background of pictures at all.
Right. So, and this guy was catching some snapper right around there. I will tell you can catch red snapper at 3 Mile Bridge as well. Just pay attention to your bottom machine when you're out there, and you'll find them out there. All right. Brian and I had a good discussion about this one prior to the show. All right. Southern kingfish or whiting. They're both the same thing.
Potato.
Okay? If you're in North Carolina, they're called ground mullet. All right. Down here, we call them whiting. There's a name for them everywhere. The official name is Gulf Kingfish, and you have the northern variety, which you see here, and you also have a southern variety, which is all white with a black tip on its tail. They're all the same. Down here, we all call them whiting. That's what it is. You get a mess of whiting. The northern, I will tell you, will typically be smaller than the southern counterpart. Your southern whiting are going to be much bigger. They're going to be more into the 14 to 16 inch range. These are going to be in the 10 to 12 maybe. Yeah. Higher dorsal fin. You're going to have a higher dorsal fin on these than you do on the southerns as well. But that's when you see the tiger stripe on the skin, that's a northern. It's still a whiting, whatever you want to call it. It's all good eating. It all fries up the same.
So yummy. God, I love whiting.
What else do I got? Oh, this one. All right, so hopefully it plays a video. Whoop.
That guy. Look at him just making
Brian's welding skills are off the chart, man. I mean, that's just Deerfield Fabrication. There you go. He's doing a tutorial there on his boxes. I mean, but just look at those welds. Awesome. I mean, and that's what goes into just the holding area to one of the surf spikes. I think is what that was that he was welding up. But I mean, there's a lot of love of your craft that goes into that on what Deerfield does and what they put out. You can definitely tell in the quality of the product that they're putting out. So thank you, Deerfield, for giving us other options and stuff like that, because we definitely appreciate it and love your products. And we're not sponsored anyway by Deerfield or anything like that. We just love their stuff. We just love their stuff. The surf fishing community is kind of small and tight knit, and when you start making friends up and down the East Coast and the Gulf Coast and things like that, it's just awesome to see folks doing well. So
stay tuned, because something might be coming from both of us on the future.
Maybe.
Yep. Possibly.
Yeah.
It'll depend on Saturday.
Yeah. Powerball or not.
I
ran all those charter trips. Damn it. I'm getting my cart.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway.
Where am I at here? There we go. There's my buttons. Damn it. Now it's stuck in my friggin' head.
I know, isn't it?
Damn it. All right. So it is becoming one of my favorite seasons because I am husky and I like to stay warm. But 38 Light Tackle rocking out with the hoodie. And as you can see, he's got a mess. But you guys have already you've seen him on the show so many times. He knows what he's doing. He gets out there. If you're not following your local tackle shops, I highly recommend it on social media. Half Hitch puts out a bunch of great stuff. Emerald Coast puts out posts. All these things are really important to go through your day. Mike, this is what I was saying. Hey, let's talk about this. Come on.
Variety taste.
Now, I'm over 21. I mean, God, look at me.
Yeah. What is that?
It's rum. It's Hawaiian rum.
I like rum.
You do
Hawaiian rum.
Hawaiian rum.
Wow.
In a bundle.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 1, 2. Let me get a glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 bottles for $150. All right. $30 a bottle.
There you go. Why not?
Not bad. Why not?
Rocking over to the East Coast here because reasons. What the hell? No, I remember that stupid catch. That was.
That's the video from down in Panama or whatever.
Yeah, that was his Panama one.
But the dude was from Jupiter.
There we go. That's the one I want. Not that. Come on. Thank you.
What are we doing here?
Despite Muchler figured he was battling a huge Cubera snapper. Despite the size, Muchler decided to release the fish. If he had killed and weighed the Cubera on certified scales, his fish possibly would have topped the IGFA species record for both all tackle weight and all tackle length.
Dude, that sucks.
Why does that sound like Salt Squatch?
That does sound vaguely familiar, like Salt Squatch.
I'm gonna have to text him and be like, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing?"
Him. Come on, man.
It probably is. I mean, he does have a very soothing voice.
He's doing videos for Saltwater Magazine, Saltwater Sports.
Yeah, and he's got some other stuff coming. Flat Spot Charters, getting out there on the
inshore. Justin,
cute little bit of trouty trout. but getting on the reds. I always love these pictures because I'm always hoping to see the blue paint brush. That tells me that the shrimp are the diet of choice. But either way, but he's out there doing everything the good stuff he is with his glorious mustache. Okay, so
comes great responsibility.
For you guys all know, I am a jarhead, and my birthday is coming up. But if you've never been to a Marine Corps ball,
you take it in the chest.
He took it in the chest.
You're just supposed to cut the cake, man. Just cut the cake.
A couple of beers, bad things happen. So here's Chips posting the 6,000 subscribers. You got the code, you got the info.
That's right.
Head on over to the Sinker Guy page, and you can take a look at that one. Speaking of some cool ones here and strange, we have had a bunch of these wonderful palometas rolling through.
Yes, we have.
Carl got on it today. These are a beautiful fish, really are. But of course, there's that
nasty. That's just straight nastiness. Right
made me sad just seeing this post.
Yeah.
But good looking fish. He didn't get skunked. That's always a win.
That's true.
And coming up from Tyler's post here. Come on. Average Joe's is another really fun one to be a part of. Getting in there. Decent ones. I'm scared to death of those fins like that. But like, bro, move that away from the danger zone.
One thing we didn't talk to Jack about is cleaning sheephead.
I thought about asking him about that.
They are a little bit tougher. But yeah, maybe that's another show episode, cleaning difficult fish.
Old Papini getting in on some. He had a hell of a day. Good run. Old Bonnie. Love Bonnethead. That is by far one of my favorite eating sharks. And what's this little guy? What are you doing here, Spady Spade? What are you doing?
Spadefish. So I heard a unique way to catch spadefish.
You did?
Yes.
What you got?
Small treble hook and toilet paper.
Oddly, it would probably work.
Well, because they eat jellyfish too.
Oh, am I in another scroll? What the hell?
What'd you do?
I don't know. It went stupid.
Yeah, so they eat jellyfish. So what you're doing is mimicking those jellyfish out there, and that small treble hook wrapped up with a toilet paper. Anyway, we were out over one of the wrecks one day, and they were loaded up, and we couldn't get them to bite anything. And I ran into one of the charter captains at the boat dock, and he was like, "You want to catch them? Here's what you do." I don't know if he was fucking with me or not, but it sounded legit once we saw all the jellyfish going by. And then
it sounds legit. I'd be for it.
Yeah. Bubba cordless battery.
What are you doing awake, Bill? You're supposed to be asleep. We got to get up early in the morning. I don't want you to be, hurting.
Brian's like, you're supposed to be getting the boat ready, man.
Oh, the boat's ready. He's already chomping at the bit to get out there. Bill has already said he plans on fishing much better than he did last time. It's not going to be hard. I caught one.
So Donnie, tube jig. If you're talking like surgical tube type length, I have caught a bunch of Spanish on trolling a mackerel tree, which all that is a long J hook or 4 J hooks going down the line and surgical tube on there, and it works like a charm.
Yeah, it does. That was a great day for Spanish. I was not sad.
Yeah, like it shouldn't, but yeah, it works for some reason. I don't know.
And there's nothing on it. I did
no.
When you threw it out there, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, there's no way that this is going to work. There's nothing on the hooks. There's no scent. There's nothing going on. Yep, I'm going to eat it. No,
that's just flopping around. And if you go back to the whole rain minnow concept, that's what it looks like. You're just looking at that silhouette out there is all they're keying in on. So,
dude, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, so you're going out. Well, speaking of that, I'll just go ahead and put it on air. Monday, I'm in, by the way.
Okay, Monday,
I moved that appointment, so I am good to go fishing. Okay. You're going to go out tomorrow, aren't you?
No, not tomorrow. Sunday, I'm going to hit. Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, the weather looked pretty good for what I want to do. So, we'll go out those 3 days this week.
Cool. As far as the surf goes, I thought about going out. I might walk a couple times this week. It'll depend on the morning. I do plan on doing some morning walks, doing some quick throws. Hopefully that'll yield something. I think it's going to be good. This is also a great time to get out there with the goofy jigs. If you guys haven't worked into that, goofy jigs do really well, especially this time. And with the fish being so close to running in and the bars being so. What?
Can I hold that up? Look at that. I just happened to when you said walking,
Look at that little guy.
Jack's gonna be mad. I'm showing his secret bait here.
It's all right. That's a parent's prerogative to piss their kids off.
Whiting. I'm just
Really?
gonna say
Actually, I'm not even surprised.
whiting.
Huh.
On
Interesting.
a small little jig hook.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And maybe a runt rod. I'm just saying. And if you're in the Gulf Coast area, just a little teaser for next month's Coastal Angler magazine article. Could talk about runt rod fishing. I'm just saying.
If you're not following. Jared, Goofy jig is also known as a banana jig. It's got a couple of different names. It's a pompano jig. It's got a weight on the bottom with a hook, but it's got a teaser on it as well. You can do that one, or you can do it as another position. Teaser for next week's podcast episode. We talk all about it. So that's actually the whole episode that we talk about with JC Peoples. Actually, I got him, and he's been throwing those things for a long time. So there you go, Donnie. I didn't tell you before, but now I'm telling you. Next week's all Goofy jig.
Nice. I actually brought up a picture real quick. Wacky Goofy jig. So there you go, Jared. That's with that's a pinfish. You don't want those. That's what the Goofy jig kind of looks like. Banana type stead with a little teaser up there. Sometimes they're attached to the jig. Sometimes they're separate, and I like them when they're separate. I don't like them when they're attached to the jig.
Yeah, I've heard different ways.
I want my teaser. I want the weight to come down and the teaser to float afterwards, because that's the weight's going to give me my puff of sand, and then the teaser's going to come down, and that's when you get them.
Puff puffs at the hook.
That's right. Puff, puff, give.
Oh,
that's a whole nother show.
We got like 4 shows out of this one.
I know, right? How's that happen?
No, it's all good, Jared. I'll ask the questions, man. I mean, you got the whole attentive audience between us, and you got everybody else on the show, and we have been talking for an hour and 21 minutes. And of course, it's always a good time for us. We don't know how to stop.
No, but we need to, because you got to get up early. You got a tournament tomorrow, and
it's all good. I still got one more. Actually, I did just get granted it's not on this, but the new one is done with the brand new high vis. No, this is Abby's. So this is going on the Dagger. This is going on the Lady Dagger. But the new Florida fishing product is set up with True Braid, but I went with the orange. And it looks really good on black and orange. And I'm not a fan of black and orange, but that's I got 2 more. Oh, nice. Come here. Thank you. This is going on Abby's rod. This one's going on the Dagger. Nice. And I think she wanted the yellow on. I think this is going on the run out. I think that's what she wanted. So yeah, she gets what she wants.
Yeah.
Bruce, that depends. That could be a whole conversation in itself. I'll be walking with my 7-foot Dagger, my go-to rod. I'll walk with that because I can run a 1/2 ounce all the way up to a full ounce throwing those. And then I will probably go. I'll either take the 8.5. I might take a 9, but it just really depends on what I'm trying to do that day. If I know I'm throwing, actually what I'll probably do is I'll probably take the 9 and use it as a set rig, and then the 7 I'll use for throwing. Because what you and I walked that one when you and I did the last walk, hell, that was like a year ago. You were running 2 7s, weren't you?
Nah, I don't think so. I think I was 10s. 10s or 8s.
Actually, you were running the long ones. That's right.
I might have had the 8-foot Prevail 2s on there, and they were paired up with the Pin Battle HS 4000s.
Yeah, that's right. The HS
on the 8-footers. And an 8-foot's a great one. I like my over the bar 10 if I'm going to walk and throw, because if I'm walking and throwing, once I stop and find fish, I can throw a set rig on there and then catch more fish. But
everything
I do like the over the bar 10 for throwing though. And then the Prevail 2 8-foots for throwing as well. They look good.
I mean, the 10 over the bar 10, I loved it when I was testing it. Mine's a little different because I've got the longer butt. It's the only thing I don't love about mine. But you can throw. I mean, hell, I think I got down to a 1/2 ounce on it when I was throwing it. But that thing's a great one for walking and throwing. You can get a lot of range on it. The big thing when it comes to the rods, though, is the reel. I mean, if you're going to be doing lures and you're going to be pushing them a high speed, especially if you're trying to target Spanish or blues.
Mhm.
You're going to want something that's going to have some speed on there. That's for sure.
Yeah, and line and
line
braid
capacity.
weight, line weight. It makes a big deal in your casting too. Frank, yeah, Star Paraflex is a good casting rod. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Jared-
you know,
Jared had
the
one.
dagger setups, that 7, the 9. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the daggers.
No,
Good
they've been
setups.
great to me.
Yeah.
15-pound braid, Jared, you really can go after everything in the surf with 15-pound braid. I mean, you can pull in a very heavy fish. The biggest thing, and this is where I have the biggest fault in my fishing game, is drag manipulation. A really good example of getting on with that is go to Fish Gum's channel and take a look at the red drum that Culver brought in on the runt rod. I mean, he was using light gear, and he pulled in a
Joby.
beautiful red. So
Yeah.
it's really about drag manipulation. I mean, once you're hooked, and that's how I always tell myself. I have to remind myself, I'm hooked. If I horse it, I'm making a piercing. So, work the drag, let them move, and the hardest thing is if you're going to keep it, great. If you're not, work hard to get it back in that water and release quickly to get it revived because it's going to be gassed. You're going to have a lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah, all of my surf setups now, I dropped down to 4,000 size reels and 15-pound braid on all my surf setups. And then, because a lot of the guys, East Coast wise, they run 14 to 15-pound mono on their bait casters.
Yeah, I think Chip
they're
was saying
throwing
he
out.
runs 9 or 12. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go
So-
light and they can handle it all day.
Yeah. And little top shot of braid and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Chip's got a good video out on setting up your bait caster reel for surf fishing. That's a good one to check out if you're new. Jarrett, if you're new to surf fishing and stuff like that, go check out the Sinker Guys channel. Check out Fish Gum, G2 Coastal. Who else am I forgetting? Bama Beach Bum's a good one.
I mean, Brad, Bama.
Those good. All of those. Perdido Blaine, which we have
yep.
on the show. Sean
Justin.
Lawless. Justin
Lawless.
Reed Fishing. That's another good one. And Justin Reed's got a lot of great tips on fishing and refreshing. The one he did on reversing your braid, I think is pretty good. But
Yeah,
but there's a lot of good folks out there that have great introductory type videos that we all watched when we started and got into surf fishing and wanted to make ourselves better. So go check those guys out.
I wish I could say I was cool enough to go down to 15. I'm too scared. I'm still running 30. but for me, 30 doesn't affect my casting distance. One of the big things is a lighter is better on the cast distance for me. I can still sling 30 no problem. So I haven't downsized. I'm pretty happy with that. On my inshore setups, yes, I am much lighter though, significantly lighter.
Yeah, but if you downsize to a 4,000 size reel and then went down to 15-pound braid, you can get more line capacity on the bigger runs when you get something that just hits you and takes off.
I can't buy new reels, man.
So.
I got a cart to buy. I've got one more reel I'm going to buy, and that's going to be one more Ultegra 5500. I think that's going to be the last one I buy for a while. And I might not even have to get that now because I think I have one swapped. But regardless on that, the 4,000 series, I've heard too many people in the podcast tell me that a 4,000 is more than sufficient, and I've got to stop worrying about it. It's the same with the weight. What you're pulling in the water is not a 15-pound dumbbell. Yes, the fish is moving, but you're not pulling that kind of weight. So it's just a matter of let the drag run and control the fish and let it work with you. So Jared, again, this comes up to a lot of different things. You could be talking, could it be your tide? When are you fishing on the tide? You're on the East Coast there, so you got a lot there. Are you in cuts? Are you in eddies? Are you in holes? Are you over? And this is my biggest mistake that I've made for the longest time of surf fishing, overthrowing the fish, because there are so many in the first 50 yards.
Run.
There's a reason Mike has one, and he's been so successful. That's for sure. And Tony's the one that got us all looking at that, like, what the hell? Why are we not fishing the first 30 feet of the friggin' surf?
Teaser for the December article, but
it's gonna be a good article.
It's pretty good. It forces you to to fish those zones that you would normally overthrow.
Salt
with a bigger
squatch.
rod.
Good one, Carl. Yep, Jared,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Phil Hollinsworth, also known
Yeah.
as Salt Squatch. Tons of great stuff.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen him on social media, well, hopefully this word just got into your phone.
Yep, Salt Squatch. Go look at him. He got videos out and short reels too. Quick little clippets on bait, on rods. I mean, just YouTube his channel, man. He's got a lot of good stuff. All right, man. We're going on an hour and a half. We got to wrap it up. But I appreciate everybody sticking around, though, man. I mean, as you can see, Brian and I have no problem filling up time with just talking about fishing.
And yes, Rob, they do have a 9-footer. Sorry.
We can talk about a lot of stuff and for a while too. So,
our wives may have made comments when we make
phone calls. Once or twice. That's a wrap. Thanks, Mark. Hey,
thanks, Mark. Yeah, fine. We're fine.
Speaking of over the bar rod,
just kick us off there. Well, we appreciate you all as always coming into the show and continuing to do this. We're going to continue on with all this as long as we can. Lots of good things are going to keep coming. We're going to keep trying to follow this format. If you like this format better, please let us know. Again, we are trying new things to see if we can keep this going, to keep it interesting and all the way through. We want, we appreciate the time that you give us, and we know your time is valuable, so we don't want to waste it. If this has been helpful for you, let us know. Please message we always answer them. And don't forget, when you catching fish, hashtag Panhandle Fishing Report. We look for it.
Yeah, we do. A lot easier on Instagram than it is on Facebook, but we do find it on Facebook too. So appreciate everybody sticking around. That's going to do it for this week. Until next week, y'all get out there and catch some fish. Later.